Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nere. So guys, if you're just seeing my channel or coming to my channel for the first time, please don't forget to like this very video, subscribe to my channel, and drop a comment from what you learned from this video, or if you have had these similar experiences or challenges that I'm here to talk about. So let's get right into the video.
Let's go.
So guys, welcome back to my video once again. So guys, today I'll be talking about the challenges I faced as a Nigerian corper. I'm still a Nigerian corper, guys, so I'm gonna be talking about some challenges that I had as a Nigerian corper, or as a Nigerian corper. So guys, I'm actually gonna bring out a specific word for each of them, and I will give like a short story under each of them, like maybe 4 or 5 words, and I give like my experience under each of them so that you guys can understand vividly what I have to say, or very well what I have to say. So the first one on our list is redeployment. So guys, I had this issue. I had a very big issue because initially I was posted to Kano, the States, and being someone from the East, we have doubts about the states, the northern states, you get. So I couldn't do anything, and I didn't want to like kind of redo the whole process of following another batch to go for NYSC. So I decided to give it a shot, and that was how I found myself in Kano State. And trust me, it was actually a lovely experience. The camp was okay, the camp activities was okay, and another thing, the soldiers, they were not harsh on us, they were not hard on us, they were human to us, they understood us, if I'm being honest. So I always hear some people complaining in their own different states or whatever camp that their soldiers did this, did that to them. So but it was a hell lot of experience for me, because nothing like that happened in my own camp. So because we are all nice to us. So so anyways, now tackling the main issue why I called the word redeployment. When you got, because I didn't want to stay back in Kano, so I wanted to redeploy back to our east, or maybe a state close to our east, right? So I wanted to like redeploy to another state, that's Rivers State, Port Harcourt. So I had this issue that after I did my redeployment, normally it's meant to come out like as you're leaving the camp, or even before you even leave your camp, because some people got notified that their portal has changed from Kano State to their supposed states that they want or something. So meanwhile, I was confused, I and my friends, because we headed down to Kano town together before we all got separated, because some of them were going to somewhere else. Me, I went straight to the airport to come back to Imo State. So we are checking our portal back to back to check if we are checking our portal back to back to check if our state has changed. Your portal, that thing in your dashboard, it has to change, because if it doesn't change, then just know that there's a problem. So in my own case, I got to the airport, I contacted the person that did the whole redeployment stuff for me. I asked the person, please, are you sure that this will work? And the person was like, yes, it will work, that I shouldn't worry, that I should come back to my state or something. So I was like, okay, fine, since you're telling me, you're giving me the assurance. So I entered plane and everything whatnot. I came back. I actually didn't come back to Owerri, because I'm based in Owerri. I was at Port Harcourt, because if those of you that maybe must have watched my other videos, you will notice that that was how I did my whole transportation stuff from Owerri to Port Harcourt. That's by road. then from Port Harcourt to Kano, because from Owerri they didn't have the direct flight from Owerri to Port Harcourt, sorry, to Kano. So I had to kind of, you know, look for a way to, and I didn't want to take a plane from Owerri to Abuja, then from Abuja to Kano. I just wanted something straight. Yeah, and that was actually what I did. I entered road, like coming of 2 hours Port Harcourt, then and I went to the Port Harcourt airport, then from there to straight Kano. So that's another means if you find, in case you find yourself in my situation, or you know. So I entered and came back to Port Harcourt. I think I was staying at my friend's house then. I think it was like 2 days, 3 days. I was very worried. I was like, Jesus, will I have to pay for another plane ticket to come and start going back to Kano? For what? When I would have just stayed back there and know that, okay, this thing did not work out, and at least I didn't spend my money coming back to my own state to still waste another money going back to that place again. You get? So I was very, very angry. I was calling the person back to back. So Jesus, I think it was almost a week. So that was now when I got this notification that they changed the chairman or whatever of NYSC, something like that, as of like January or so. No, not February, yeah, because we left camp February 14th, and all this happened within that February. So, and it's not funny to me as I'm talking about it, because geez, then it wasn't funny. I was just like, it's as if I was in a hot pot of soup. So as got my habits, it finally reflected, I think like 2 weeks later, going to 3 weeks or so. That was when it reflected. So I was so happy. I was so happy that it's finally reflected. At least my money or everything, you know, didn't go to waste and stuff like that. So the second one on my list is cost of transportation. That one is another wahala. As I entered Port Harcourt, you know, I've not really been to Port Harcourt before. I don't really know much about the city. Just I have few friends there, which I was staying with while I was in Port Harcourt, you know, during those days, because I didn't have any apartment of mine. So transportation was something else, because I was literally taking boats to everywhere, because I just didn't know, like I just didn't want to get lost. You get from, and you know how all these drivers can be now. If they know, because they will obviously find out that you don't know the place, so they will not want to tax, they will not want to charge you more than the amount you should be paying. If you're meant to be paying, if you're meant to be paying like 500 or something, they will top it and tell you maybe 1,000 or something, and you don't know. So I think despite that, sometimes I entered public transport, sometimes I entered boats. If I know where I was going to be, like if I didn't have somebody to direct me, I will enter my boat because I don't even want wahala. Despite that, that was another expenses, because you all know that boat is very expensive, you know. Talk about where you don't even know where you're going to. So as the person is driving you all around, round, you don't know. Your own is just to be following, you get. So I think that's one of the advantage of this thing, boats, that they will just carry you straight to the place you are going to. But for all this short transportation, blah blah blah, all this, you don't know, is that junction that they will stop you. How you're going to find your square roots, you don't know. But it was actually it was something else, because I ended up spending I spent too much money, so much money during those times, because just transportation alone on transportation I spent too much, because I just didn't know the place. And no, and you see, when you want, okay, even when I was going to look for my PPA, right, primary place of assignment or this thing, but when I was going for my PPA, Jesus, I had, you know how you'll be stopping, you'll be asking people, where is this, where is that. Sometimes I would drag my friend Mary Ann, we will not go. I'll drag my friend Mary Ann, we'll go together, we'll just be asking people. And you know the funny part about my friend Mary Ann? My friend Mary Ann, she was born and brought up in Port Harcourt, but she doesn't know anywhere in Port Harcourt. The only place you know is around her house. Finish. You don't know any other place in Port Harcourt, and that is so funny. Like when we stay in a state and you don't even know your, like, if they say they are throwing bomb, where will you watch it? But anyways, yeah, I succeeded in dragging her with me sometimes, like maybe 2-3 times or so. Yeah, so we went. Like obviously there was also expenses, transport, looking for where your PPA is and whatnot. Like I spent money just on transportation. It was too much. It's there you are spending like you are spending like maybe close to 1,000 or 1,500, coming back the same thing. So how much like are you wasting in a day, and knowing fully well that the next day you will still leave the house to go and still, maybe like me now, like if you redeploy to another state, you obviously need to do your documentation afresh, like that book of life. Like you need to write your name in that state that you redeployed to, right? Like do all those processes you did in camp, in that your previous camp. You just have to like do everything afresh in that present state. So that was actually what happened. So obviously like the transportation was something else. So anyways, down to the third one on our list is house issue. So guys, when I located my PPA finally, I had an issue with this house accommodation. Yeah, I shouldn't even say house issue. I think the right word should be accommodation. Yes. Now I needed a place, right? I needed a place where I can stay, maybe go to school, because yeah, I was assigned to a school, a government school, to be a teacher. So when I got to the school, spoke with the principal, and that was when she was like, I don't really like, let me just explain what she said. Though she might not have said it in this, she didn't say it in this exact word, but what she was saying was she's keeping her house or the little accommodation left for the desperate ones. So when she said, they were like, I don't understand. She was like, oh, look at your wig or something, judging by, I don't know, like. So that was one thing she said. I was like, I didn't even understand, safe. So I didn't really say much. So I was like, okay, so how am I going to do the accommodation? Like, where do I find a place, an apartment? She was like, okay, I can talk to the security man, that's the gates man. So the gates man came, we spoke, we exchanged our numbers, you get. So when we exchanged numbers, we are not talking, and I asked him, how much can I get an apartment for? He was like 200, 250, blah 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 blah. I'm like, so that was another thing. So when he said it was like 250, 200, I was like, so you can't get anything less or something? He was like, I should come and see the house first, you get. So I was like, okay, no problem. So then I was still in Port Harcourt. The next day, because I was asked to come and see the teacher, like the head teacher to a particular subject. They gave me, they said I should teach, should be biology, I'll be agric, I don't know. They said I should choose between, because I studied biochemistry in school, that I should choose between biology and chemistry. So I was like, I told them biology, and the vice principal was able to convince me to teach agric, that they don't have a teacher, like don't have more teacher for agriculture in the school. So I didn't have any issue. I agreed with him. And okay, so the next day I was meant to come to the school. I was meant to come back to the school to talk to the head teacher, like the teacher in charge of the agriculture. And so she would not tell me some certain things, so we kind of did a little catching up. So when I came, I actually saw that as a meet to meet with the principal, to discover that in some schools the corpers are being paid more, maybe like extra 10k, 15k, depending on the place, if they are nice enough, because 15k is even too much. Either if the manager pay 5k, 10k, yeah, you should even accept and say thank you, because others, my school didn't do it the way I was posted initially. So when I got there, the principal was like, know that we don't give any copper anything, we don't pay any contribution, blah, blah, blah. So like, oh, no problem. So I met the teacher, everything. So at the end of the day, I looked at everything. It wasn't worth the stress. And the funny thing is that these people, they gave me how many courses to even teach. So they gave me how many classes to even teach. They gave me, according to, they were like, their SS1, I'm gonna take their SS1, right? 5 classes, like SS1 about 5. So I was like, Jesus, I beg, it's not me and you, I'll run for my life. And that was actually what I did. So when I went home, because yeah, after the whole process, I came back to my state, which is Owerri. It's my, it's my base. So I came back to Owerri, and I just thought about it. My siblings, they said their own opinion and whatnot. So we just kind of checked, and I concluded, I was like, it doesn't make sense for me to live there and no addition of anything. Like, I will still even be stressed more, because obviously I'll be, and that means you will not even have any break, because that will be total 1 week. You know how you'll be like, today I will not go to class, I will not go to school. There is nothing like that, because for me to be taking on 5 classes, obviously in this my presence in school, I mean in a week I have like, should be 5 working days, right? So, and I was given 5 classes to handle. That means it's every day, because if you divide it, that means I'll be going to the school every day or something. So it wasn't something that and there's no how I even say, let me include maybe like 3 classes in the day so I can have spare time or something. It wasn't really worth it and everything. I just calculated, checked everything, did my multiplication, minus, subtraction, addition, and to sum it up, that was how I kind of looked for another way or another solution to my problem, which I can't really talk about, sorry. So yeah, so at the end of the day, I came out from the issue. I didn't go through the whole stress and and whatnot. So I think these are practically the main issues I faced as a Nigerian Corper serving Kano Port Harcourt. So yeah, I don't know, this video was kind of a discussion or something. I don't know why it's even so funny for me as I'm talking about it. Like I say, these are some, I didn't say these are all, because I'm still serving. So when I'll be, or maybe before I'm done, or I don't know, I would also drop another video talking about maybe a different kind of challenge or experience as a whole, like serving my father's land. So that is it. That is all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, drop a comment if you have any question for me or whatever, and also you can check out my other NYSC vlogs. I vlogged my entire NYSC lifestyle, my experience, everything, my friends, my lovely friends, my platoon members, everything. I dropped a video about those things, about those experiences. So you can go back to my my other videos and check out. I will even put the link in my bio, so you can check it out. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and God bless.